People don't realise that they're living under a spell right now. Several interactions this morning. A guy says he's fully vaccinated and has symptoms. He says, I don't have COVID, I just feel unwell. So I had a conversation with him, and his attitude was, well, yeah, I've been fully vaccinated and I don't think it's the vaccine, and I'm just sick. Yeah, so he's accepted that spell. I was just thinking about it. It's like there's a big spell that's been cast on him. If you stand back, you can kind of feel and see the energy of it. And anyone that's under that spell really doesn't have the ability to kind of see outside that spell, because the vibrational dissonance and even the difference between where they are under the spell and what they believe in that place and what's outside of it is just too much. So, yeah, the government has done an incredible job using many NLP techniques. I've been watching it. They're fucking amazing. Wish I could do that to the group that follow me as efficiently. With his little conscience. Yeah, right. Programming, it's a spell. And I've just discovered my daughter's under part of the spell. She believes people who have autism are born with it. End of story. She's just been in a training establishment. Fringe medical. And is buying into all the programming at that level, so I realised she's going to take it further than that. Everything is now scientifically based. Even that is a spell, because you have to put the spell on a person which is the curriculum really of the program that you're learning. It's a kind of holographic egg all of its own. And yes, it has to interact with eggs outside itself, but it's a spell. And you have to realise that these training establishments are all Rothschild funded and originated. And that pine oil was used to cure cancer prior to the institution of chemotherapy to ensure people with cancer only live 5 years. See, with pine oil I can actually use the word cure because it's a natural remedy, and hey, shit, it does. Chemotherapy, it's actually meant to kill people. You have to see that spell. You really have to wake up out of that spell. Yeah, so I guess we just, by wherever we're focusing our energies, we're continuing in our own spell. True. But particularly when I look at the young people and I think back to when I was 21, how much I knew, how much I understood about the world, fuck all. These days people are a little bit different. Our youngsters are a bit different simply because they've been subjected to too much. But yeah, which is warped. Again, okay. Thoughts on a Sunday afternoon. Outside, sun, fresh air. Just ate. Feeling the earth even though I'm not standing on it. My feet can energetically connect with it because I'm not wearing shoes. And breathing and just feeling the here and now. Without the story, without all the spells. Can you hear the birds? Breathing into that space. Start to question, start to question the spells and look at the spells that you're under. We all have so many of them. And most of them originate outside of ourselves. Ooh, here I am teaching again. So you can just stand shoulder width apart and ask your body a question that has a yes/no answer. If the answer is yes, you will sway forward, and if the answer is no, you will sway backward. Ask some questions about yourself to gain confidence, and then ask similar questions of the world. Find your own answers. Your body will tell you yes or no. A good question right now would be, does my body require the Pfizer vaccine? Yep, I get a pretty strong fucking no on that one, kiddos. Does my body require vitamin C? Whoa, yes it does. Of course it does. Remember, honeys, all your symptoms that you aspire to name as a virus, and all your limited understanding around what that even might be, just let it all go. And just understand that your body is detoxing. Whenever you have a symptom that looks like a flu symptom, it's actually just a symptom of your body detoxing. Needing to detox. Now, our bodies need to detox for a huge variety of reasons. You know, we have a lot of stuff coming at us every day, and we do have organs and stuff in our body that, initiate detox, is what I would call it. So think of all your cold symptoms as a detox. Do the same thing you would for a normal cold, except go on a ventilator. And don't care how badly you can't breathe. There are other things, and the ventilators are very dangerous, I would say. If you could speak to any of the people who'd been on them, you would understand why I say that. And make your own choices, but look at the spells you're under and how you got them, and what the agendas behind the institutions that gave you your spells might be, and then research the other side and look for the opposite information, the pro and the what, against, whatever, and then come back to me. Tell me where you end, because too many of these people who are programmed into the little spells through medical institutions particularly are not willing to look outside of that and understand why. And that's another Sunday afternoon chat, but time to actually do some critical thinking, research the other side, then make your choice. I don't have any respect for anyone who holds one position without investigating the other. Sorry, that's, there's a word for it. What is it? Bigot? I don't know. That one's the one that's coming into mind, but I don't know if that's the right one. Is that where you stand in your view, not going to look at the other side? I mean, I've looked at both sides. Fuck, we get programmed with what the government wants us to hear every day. We see that every day. Plenty of that. Looked at all that research. Even some of the research that's on that side is actually now on the other side, on the side of health and life and longevity. not control and mandates and vaccinations. Simply because of the reality of looking. When you start looking, you see different things. Anyway, this is probably getting too long and boring. What are we, 10 minutes? Started off on spells. I see all these little, okay, there's a visualization. I see all these little people out there all under their little spells that might be serving them in some way, but also are limiting them in many ways. So it's like, just something that I automatically saw when I was talking to that guy. And it's like I see him under his spell, and that's it. There's a whole world above him and around him and outside of that spell, but he can't access any of that because he's under the spell. So the visualization for me is seeing millions and millions and millions of people like that under their spell. And then imagine I've got like a really big prickly hairbrush, and it's huge, and I'm going over the top of all those little people, and my prickly hairbrush, spiky hairbrush, is bursting open all those little bubbles. Can you see that? Just imagine that now, all the little bubbles all over Earth, and the big hand of God coming down with the big brush, spiky brush. Maybe it's like those ones that gets the hair out of the knots out of dogs' hair. Use one of those over all the people who are still asleep, and I won't even say asleep, but are under a spell that is not serving them. That's all it is. The people are good, they want the same things we do. And they just use different ways of trying to protect themselves. Particularly by lashing out, but it's only a separation. And they don't realize that we are as connected as we are. So visualize all those little bubbles popping, opening up, and allowing whatever information, whatever experience, whatever opening and awareness that can happen for each and every one of those people, which will be completely different for everyone. Allow whatever needs to happen for them with the spell that's not serving them breaking open, and allowing a level of awakening and whatever transpires from that. And imagine that healing going out to any of that transmission, really. Going out to anyone who needs it. Anyone who's willing to receive it. All those little bubbles, spells, opening and unwinding. Over and out.